worried for a minute that he was going to pass the collection. I got a sermon. First and of all, I have to acknowledge my baby boy, who's now a little older than baby boy. Albert Liggins, my son and business partner, who does all the heavy lifting, and I get all the credit. I love this arrangement. Of course, that was the arrangement we made when he kicked me upstairs and said, "Oh, I got this, Mom." But it was so emotional starting yesterday for me to be home. I'm just so honored. This, by the way, is my very first press conference ever. I've never done a press conference because I've always been on the side with you all. I've always been a member of the press. And so this is the first time I've been on this side, so you all have to kind of coach me. I know I'm supposed to take questions. The only thing I really have to say is thank God and thank you. Johnny Rogers, thank you. Thank you. Johnny has been talking to me about this for such a long time. And I said, really? They would change the name of Paxton Boulevard? Who was Paxton to begin with? To be honest with you, I grew up on 32nd and Paxton Boulevard and have no idea. Does anyone know who Paxton was? No. Oh, then he won't mind us removing him. You'll get over show up.
Paxton was a general, but we won't get it.
Oh, Lord. Thank you very much. Okay. So, I'm just full with gratitude. I'm just so honored to be with you all. This weekend brings back so many wonderful memories. Yesterday, Mike Kelly and I were over at Duchenne Academy of the Sacred Heart, and I learned that there are 24 academies of the Sacred Heart. They kept that a secret when I was there many, many moons ago. They told us we were the only ones. And to be the first black graduate of Duchenne. And then in 2006, to receive an honorary doctorate from Creighton University, exactly 50 years to the day that my daddy was their first graduate in accounting. So many wonderful memories. Every place I go, I talk about Omaha, Nebraska. I used to really take it personally and get upset when there would be comedians on television that thought it was funny to say, "Oh, you must be from Omaha." I'm like, "Yeah." And all right. Thank God Johnny Carson also was unapologetically proud of being from Omaha, Nebraska. But, you know, the most common, remark to me over the years has been, "There are black people in Omaha." Have you ever heard of Malcolm X? All right, so we have a whole list. You ever heard of Johnny Rogers? Have you ever heard of Bob Gibson? Have you ever heard of Gail Sayers? They're like enough. All right, there are black folks in Omaha, and we all try to do our best. I, over the years, have called it besting our best. We always try to take it up another rung, because I've often said that in Omaha, when you leave, if you've got the nerve to leave, you better do good, because if you come home, your community will be in your face. You weren't good enough for you, so you went off and now you back. So we do our best so that when we come home, that our community is proud of us, because this really is a village. When I was growing up, we were totally isolated in North Omaha, unless your family had something to do with SAC headquarters, and often then there was a little sprinkling of black folks. But other than that, all of us were here. We all knew each other. We were all related to each other, and everybody was in everybody's business, which has not changed. Yesterday at the Omaha Star, which is the documentation of what we know about each other, but most importantly, our pride and the encouragement that we give to each other, the love. I've always felt love, even from afar. I always knew that if necessary, I could come home. I always knew that I would be welcome back, although you all would be talking crap. I knew it. But I was not afraid of that. But I just thank you for this honor, and anything. Come on in and get a seat. Come on up. Come on, you can interrupt me. Okay, come on. All right. I interrupt people all the time, you know. Yeah, come and welcome. So, do I have any questions that I need to entertain? Like I said, this is my very first press conference. I'll keep you all here until you have to take the sign down.
you going? What motivated you to reach this level as a...
Alfred. When I was 17 and became a parent, I realized that I was on the brink of becoming a black statistic. And he was the motivation for me to think past myself, which has been, we call our staff our family. We call our listening audience, our viewing audience, and our internet participants. I consider it my extended family, and it was because of his birth. It was a defining moment in my life and my direction, because for the first time I had a priority that I could not fail at. There was no way I could disappoint this little innocent baby that I literally felt an electrical charge the first time they put him on my chest, and he just cuddled up to me, and I was like, we'll be okay. I'm not going to disappoint you. Don't worry about it. So it was Alfred who actually kept me going and motivated me.
Cathy, what are some of the things that you're seeing now that you're back home that are really resonating with you? Just a lot of nostalgia about places and
Leo, that's real interesting, because one of the things I'm going to do, there are 35 of us from out of town that are here, we've been going around looking, although the official tour is going to be Saturday morning, courtesy of my brother Billy Woods. Unfortunately, my brother Bobby, those of you who are prayer warriors, please keep him in prayer. He's in heart surgery right now as we speak. He had a test on Monday, and he was on the way, he said, to the airport yesterday when the doctor said, I need for you to meet me in surgery this morning. And he's a doctor, so he's very nervous about that. But what I'm seeing, Leo, is Omaha's resurgence once again. It happened during my adult years, but once again, but what I'm not seeing is that same commitment that I see in South Omaha to North Omaha. I want to see North Omaha be as beautiful as the rest of the city. Right. I want to see the investment in North Omaha, because this is our home. This is our village. And I'm loving when I see the cranes and the news and the restaurants. And we had one restaurant when I was growing up. We had one black doctor. We had one black lawyer. My father was one black CPA. But the reality is that it's like what President Obama used to say about he's the president for all people. This city is for all the people. So all the residents of this city should be served and participate and benefit from the resurgence of the new Omaha.
Here, here. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Cathy,
Yes.
was there a mistake that you learned the most from in your career?
Yeah, I learned what to make babies. And that's the truth. I do everything. Me and my girl over there, Dina. I was like, how did this happen? She said, I think Norforms is a deodorant, not a contraceptive. I was like, oops. But it changed my life for the better. Yes. I say this to young girls. Needless to say, I get invited frequently to speak to teenage mothers, particularly the unwed teenage mothers. And now we have a program in Washington called Generation Hope. That's to send teenage mothers and fathers to college and have their children participate to see that if their parents can in fact have a baby, okay, and continue their education and continue their life. And I think that that's so important. So I say to particularly unwed teenage mothers all the time, the glass is either half full or half empty. If you see that baby as a blessing, not as a mistake, then you and that baby will have a different life. I never saw me being pregnant as a mistake. At that age, me and my mama were in constant conflict, so I saw it as a ticket to my own independent life. I saw it as a blessing from day one. And I try to instill that with young mamas, that if you see it as, oh, woe is me, I got pregnant, okay, I'm single, then that's how your life is going to unfold. But if you see it as, wow, this is wonderful, I have an opportunity to do for another human being outside of myself, to think of something, someone more important than my own self-interest, because all 16, 17-year-olds basically want to know how they look. Do I look good? Is someone interested in me? What's going on in my life? When you've got a baby, if you're going to really make it positive, then you've got to make certain that you see it as a positive occurrence. Where are you going, John? Yes, sir.
A few years ago, I asked this of Bob Johnson from BET.
I know where Bob Johnson's from.
I know you know what I'm talking about. And I said to him, you know, we perceive you as a very successful